Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this interview with Al Talib. My name is Natmatullah. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. I go by Nafis, and it's a pleasure to be with you and conduct this interview.
Perfect. Okay, so I want to get right to it so as to not waste your time, inshallah.
Go ahead.
So, just a couple questions on the New York PD stalking of the youth.
Yes.
Question number one, very general. How do you feel about this situation?
Well, at first, I was surprised naturally, but then thinking it through logically, I shouldn't be surprised, and neither should anyone else. No, it's not because after 9/11, the NYPD is going after, or the government is going after Muslims. It's not because of that. It's because America historically has done that. In 18th century, when America was first born, John Adams, the second president, he made the Alien and Sedition Acts, which basically imprisoned anyone who spoke against the government. Thomas Jefferson got rid of those acts after he took office. Then came World War I. America was actually, they sent spies to stalk German and Italian, not Italian, German citizens. World War II, they sent the Japanese to the internment camps, and they also had FBI stalking German citizens. So, going through what America has historically done, Muslims shouldn't be, anyone shouldn't be too, I'm not saying it's right or anything or that it's constitutionally correct, but we shouldn't be too surprised, because according to law, the government, if it deems that any group of people can be a threat, a potential threat, they can legally go and investigate that people with or without a warrant. Whether that law coincides with the Constitution, or it's actually constitutionally correct, that's for the Supreme Court to decide.
Okay, cool. Seeing that you are like a youth in an MSA, how do you feel about your privacy? Like, since the NYPD did like target you.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if the MSA here at UCLA and significant students here are being followed or stalked by the LAPD, the Los Angeles equivalent of the NYPD. I mean, I'm not too worried. It's not like I'm walking around and glancing back and forth to see if I'm being spied on, because if you're innocent, you really have nothing to lose. Once again, I'm not saying whether this spying and stalking is actually correct. I'm just saying personally, I mean, if I'm being spied on, what can I actually do about it? Yes, I can complain and say it's wrong, which in a way, in this interview, I'm doing. I do believe that it's not constitutionally correct. However, if I'm innocent, and which I believe I am, I mean, I'm not doing anything or advocating or conspiring anything. So, if for any reason the LAPD pulls me over, I mean, I know what to say. I would know how to respond. Hopefully.
Cool. What do you think are possible like solutions to prevent something like this from happening?
Prevent stalking?
Or do you believe that this is something that's necessary?
It absolutely is not necessary, because most of these stalkings is done. So the FBI, which is a national organization, they work with the local police departments to conduct these stalkings. According to the FBI's own statistic, which was released in a study 2005, terrorists who are Muslims only constitute it's something in the single digits. The group that terrorists are mostly composed of, 42%, are actually Latinos. So, if the FBI is, going after Muslims, why aren't they? Perhaps they are. They're going after Latinos, but going after suspicion, I don't think it's correct, because that creates it creates the whole paradigm of a police state. And the founding fathers of this nation and the Constitution does not support a police state. Yes, we will try to prevent crime, but things like going so far as to stalk members of a group, it's not trying to prevent crime. It's infringing on privacy and civil rights. So to prevent such a thing, I would say that we as Muslims, we should have more increased awareness about the history of America, about what our rights are, and we should also form good relations with our local authorities and educate the public about these issues.
Cool.
So for those of us, who know our local, we should know our local police officers and authorities. We should talk to them, know what's going on, and we should work with them in case anything, if anything, on any issue, any case. We should form good relations. So if something like this happens, the police authorities will be on our side because they will know who we really are.
That's good. All right, thank you so much for your time. That's pretty much it, unless you have any other things to say.
I think that's about it.
Cool, thank you.
Okay, assalamu alaikum.